dare to show their faces at Old Trafford again. 30-odd weeks since stealing the title out from before these very united eyes, the champions are back to face their predecessors and pursuers. Shock news today that Quinton Fortune actually broke his leg at Anfield last week. Phil Neville, who replaced him late on then, does so from the beginning now. And for the first time in 3 weeks, Verón starts in the Premiership to the exclusion of Diego Forlan. It was, of course, Sylvain Wiltord whose goal won the league here, and Arsenal pick him up front today, a horse for this course, and an old warhorse, Martin Keown, who's missed 9 Premiership games, returns just in time to cover Sol Campbell's suspension. Ashley Cole is fit again too. Well, there are 6 points between them. There are Liverpool and Chelsea between them. And most pertinently, perhaps, after today, there are still 21 games between both of them and season's end. This, unlike Arsenal's last visit, is no title decider, but it is some sort of indicator. And when Manchester United play Arsenal, it always matters. This matters a lot. Gilberto away for Arsenal. Towards, for the first time, Wiltord. The focus of so much attention based on Arsenal's recent history here. It is one of the most expensive galleries of men you would see. Beckham, Butt, Ferdinand unavailable. Keane as well, of course. No Laurent Blanc today either. O'Shea. Van Nistelrooy. Giggs. Vieira didn't let it get to Scholes. Van Nistelrooy had a go, though. And Shaban clawed it round. Half a yard of space. Barely any backlift from Ruud van Nistelrooy. Peter Kenyon's had some interesting things to say this week about the future of football and the need, in his view, perhaps to reduce our game to 40 professional clubs. Safe to say these two might be 2 of those 40. Henry is onside. Thierry Henry! Good stop by Barthez and safely away by Gary Neville. The Inquisition is begun by the goalkeeper. But it was a peach of a ball from Oleg Luzhny, a perfectly timed run from Thierry Henry, who, 80% of the time would have scored from here, maybe more still than that. Pires with the corner, Gilberto climbing for it, Phil Neville away, Wiltord. Seagull, on by Gilberto, taken on by Pires, slipped in for Henry, slipped back for Pires, oh! About as close to what would have been the perfect goal as you would encounter. Just a gorgeous exchange between the Frenchmen. Solskjaer, Van Nistelrooy, Scholes, Verón! First blood, Manchester United. There's a hint of handball against Van Nistelrooy as he gathers it in, holding off Keown on the edge of the penalty area. From that point on, it's clean enough. Scholes find Verón, who couldn't miss. Scholes' run was timed well, he stayed level with Seagull. But the row will be about the original touch from Ruud van Nistelrooy. Giggs. Floating away from Jumba. And against Gilberto. Verón. And Nistelrooy is down. As a result of a clash which occurred, I think, off the ball with Martin Keown. It was a raised arm by Martin Keown against Ruud van Nistelrooy. You could hardly call it a punch. The morning of October the 7th, Arsenal had a 9-point lead over Manchester United. For a brief spell that did diminish to 1. Now on December the 7th, it could be back at 3 again. Well, Shaban hit a weak goal kick there and has clearly done himself some damage in striking it. And trying to retrieve it, Gilberto challenged with Phil Neville. Arsenal have a few players in the wars here. Perhaps of greatest concern, Rami Shaban. It was a horribly mishit goal kick. You can see at once that it caused him pain. And Stuart Taylor, who made his Premiership debut against Manchester United at Highbury a year and a week ago, maybe about to take his place at Old Trafford. It appears the instruction has been given. Stuart Taylor's first appearance in the Premiership since coming on as a substitute on the final day of last season against Everton. Showed that he'd played enough games to win a championship medal. Sylvester away, Henry takes it, Ljungberg jabs it forward again, Solskjaer can bring it clear for Manchester United. Vieira's got in hard on the Verón sometime after the ball had left the vicinity. Patrick Vieira is on 4 cautions, 1 more. There'll be a suspension, and Barthez has had a shot for goal from 70 yards. And he calls himself a member of the Goalkeepers Union. And the young man something to worry about. Gilberto, Ljungberg. Away by Brown. And the flag is up. Sir Alex having a word with the 4th official, Mike Dean. Well, if Arsenal win this from here, it will indeed be the performance of champions. Away from home against one of their greatest rivals, behind to a disputed goal from Seba Verón, the build-up to which may have included Van Nistelrooy's hand, with Keown struggling to move, their goalkeeper withdrawn and replaced. Arsenal, the champions, are up against it at Old Trafford, trailing at half-time by 1-0. So Arsenal need a goal. No problem. They have scored at least 1 in each of their last 55 Premiership games. They have scored 1 and only 1 on each of their last 5 visits to play Manchester United here. But they have a fresh young goalkeeper to protect their end of the field. Verón, Giggs, Van Nistelrooy. Keown with ground to make up. Van Nistelrooy running at Keown. Now Solskjaer. Where the mentor miss it. It's lobbed up menacingly for a while from Ole Solskjaer. Vieira. Bounced off Giggs and found Gilberto. Pires. Gone wide for Luzhny. It's Luzhny's cross. It's Gilberto's header. And it's wide. He's still to score in the Premiership. He got that very early goal in Eindhoven in the Champions League, 1 of 2 in that competition. If he could play, he would play. David Beckham is, we understand, close to returning to the Manchester United side. Seagon gave Van Nistelrooy a pretty unsubtle shove in the back. Verón in charge of United's free kick. And drifting it in here for Giggs! And Taylor stood his ground and Keown scraped it away. And Cole is caught on it by Scholes. Good, sturdy, uncomplicated goalkeeping from Stuart Taylor, who found himself in a nasty predicament here, face to face with Ryan Giggs. Stayed on on his feet. Made himself a hindrance and a hurdle. Giggs with the corner. Taylor helped out by Vieira. Neville back down for Sylvestre. And now Paul Scholes. Drifted expertly wide again to Ryan Giggs. And Giggs cross. And a wonderful save from Taylor. What a reach that was. Every last half-inch of Stuart Taylor's 6'5" required to pull off this truly elastic save, though the goal wouldn't have stood because the referee had awarded a free kick prior to the ball reaching the penalty area. Wilton came out to Pires. Pires' shot deflected off Sylvestre from behind. Arsenal in search of the equaliser. Pires with the corner. Came out to Seagull. Who was charged away by Philip Neville. You've got decent odds on your coupon for Pascal Seagull being a scorer here today. Pires with another corner. And again Pires. And no one wants a touch, and Scholes has got it clear. Van Nistelrooy. He's fed Solskjaer. Giggs is galloping forward. Giggs for Scholes. Beautiful touch. Scholes running at Cole. Scholes. Verón. Giggs. Verón. Arsenal getting their foot on it now. In the Premiership they too always score. 55 games in a row. Vieira in towards Henry. Manchester United snuff him out again. This is Luznik. Ljungberg. Into the channel for Gilberto. Fantastic run from the Brazilian, who fair galloped from halfway to arrive right on cue. Look at that dash from deep. Real will to be there first. Nistelrooy. Strong and finding Scholes, and Scholes finishes, and Manchester United lead the champions by 2-0. Good strength of turn from Ruud van Nistelrooy, and a sureness of finish that one has come to associate with this man. Scholes with the aid of a little nick off Martin Keown. And the night is ecstatic. Vieira, Toure. Henry in pursuit. Cole there by way of support. This is Ashley Cole. This is Patrick Vieira. Cole was caught after he'd let the ball go. And Phil Neville has been called over by the referee for that late arrival, and Phil Neville has been booked. Thierry Henry in Rome. Thierry Henry at Highbury against Aston Villa. Now Thierry Henry at Old Trafford with Arsenal 2 behind and needing him to find that corner again. Not this time. Once was wonderful, twice fantastic, 3 times too much to hope for. And it may be that it ain't going to happen today. Gilberto. Cole. No way through for Henry. There hasn't been all afternoon. Scholes. Solskjaer. United invited the champions back, and this time they beat them. Manchester United's 5th successive win. Their first over Arsenal for nearly 2 years, and it means that the gap between the champions and their predecessors is back down now to 3 points. The congestion at the big business end of the Premiership is intensified. Goals from Verón and Scholes. Arsenal had goalkeeping problems and problems greater than that. But United have reined in the reigning champions, and the race goes on.
Last week it was Liverpool, now Arsenal have become United's victims. Reaction to that tremendous win is next. Next action will come from Charlton against Liverpool. Big day for both goalkeepers. Then it'll be those in-form Premiership teams Everton and Chelsea. A gripping battle at Goodison Park.
Manchester United. And Manchester United lead the champions by 2-0. United invited the champions back, and this time they beat them. Alex, your team just so visibly wanted that and performed with great desire today, didn't they?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they did show the desire, but also showed great ability. And when you marry the two together, it's a potent force, really.
I believe Man United defended very well, and we're highly focused on defending, and we're running after this goal in the second half, and at the wrong moment we conceded the second goal, and of course then it became very, very different. We were close a few times, but it's right that we didn't create many chances today, and I think it's all credit to Man United who defended well.
Did you feel that you might have handled the ball in the lead up to the first of your goals?
It wasn't deliberately. It just, you know, got in the... I didn't touch it with my hand like on purpose, but it touched my hand, I agree. But I think the ref saw that it wasn't on purpose, and, you know, he let it play on.
What was your feeling about this incredible atmosphere of a Manchester United-Arsenal game?
It was huge, lovely crowd, a lot of people, and I love to play in front of that. And unfortunately, what happened, so just keep going on.
What did happen?
I don't know. I think the doctor said something about the thigh or something, but I don't think, or I don't hope, it's too serious.
We're playing at Old Trafford in front of our home support, and the last couple of weeks we've shown a lot of desire and commitment, and we've continued that today, and like I said, the whole team, you know, committed themselves to the cause today, and it was brilliant.
Well, it was a brilliant performance by United. We'll have a word about how they were able to dominate in a moment, but Arsenal had some early chances, right? They might have gone ahead, mightn't they?
Yeah, the first goal was going to be all important today, and really Arsenal, against the run of play, I might add, probably should have had a couple of great situations they should have tucked away. Here we see Henry through. I don't know what Gary Neville's trying to do there with the offside trap, but I think he should have maybe took one more touch. But this is a superb move. This could have been one of the best passing moves of the season. Great interplay, and watch Pirozetti spotted the keeper off his line. And to be fair to Bartes, you know, he's not got half the credit for that, because Bartes has actually saved that. There wasn't even a corner given, was there?
Just got his
But watch this, that's going in the net, you know, and he's made a phenomenal save. Second in the 2 matches, hasn't he? Against Liverpool he made one. But here's the big moment in the game, the first goal. Interesting, Martin Keown's hand going up there as the midfield players hit the net. Verón, who started the movement with a tackle, got in the net, got in the box and tucked it away. But this is where we've just heard Ruud van Nistelrooy very honestly say he did handle it. I actually think that should have been a free kick. I think he's very fortunate not to have the free kick given against him, because he's cushioned it into his path. Referee in a great position. Martin Keown in no doubt at all what he thought. But here's the other side of Van Nistelrooy. Great setting up play, and the little ginger fella gets in again. A little bit of luck at the end. I thought he'd hit this clean to start with, but it's just got a deflection, I think, of Martin Keown and gone in the net. And on the day, United much the better side.
Why were they able to dominate, though, Andy? Was it a midfield battle? They seemed to win in the midfield.
In midfield, they were phenomenal. On paper, Des, you look at it and you think Arsenal are going to come out on top, but reputations count for nothing in big games, and one man today stood out head and shoulders above everyone else. Phil Neville was just immense. The biggest compliment I can pay him today is that Roy Keane could not have done more for that team today than this man. He's not known, obviously, as a regular midfield player, but he was terrific today. His detailed job was keep your game very simple. Don't dwell on any mistakes you make. If you do, get after it again and win it. Disrupt Arsenal, spoil them. Make sure you deny any space for their key players, the Ljungbergs, the Pires, Henrys of this world if he drops deep. Deny them space to run at our defence, and he did it to the last letter. He was absolutely fantastic. From the first minute to the last, I think he inspired Verón. He dragged Verón's game up another level. He was a real leader today, and I think in the past I've looked at Phil Neville and sometimes have thought he's one of those lads that may be a wee bit fortunate being surrounded by so many great players. I tell you, today he went right up in my estimation. I thought he was absolutely superb. He really was instrumental in everything that they did. This typified it. Look, you can see him here. He mops it up once or twice. Gary Neville, his brother there, dropping the team back in the cart. And then he comes flying in with a tackle. They win it again. Again here you see him trying to track Henry. Now all of a sudden he sees Vieira. Perfect tackle, timely tackle. Just thought all-round game was absolutely fantastic. Just these little toe pokes, and they're so vital to your team. They seem to knock the life out of Arsenal. And I just, I can't speak highly enough of him. He was terrific.
Verón, I mean, I think this programme was somewhat critical of him, certainly in the Manchester City match a few weeks ago, that he didn't get about the game.
He showed today, Des, that he can get his foot in as well as play. He showed he can be dynamic in big, high-charge games like that one today. He showed he can do it. Now he's got to produce it on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's well refereed too.
Very well. Dermot Gallagher, must say, got to give him a lot of credit. He let the game flow. He was brilliant.
Thank you.